トで会話をしていきます。ちゃっかりピットの主になっています。周囲には新たな人員が補充されています。落ち着くよう諭してきます。自身の弱みではなく、主人公の弱みであるかのように話します。すべてはジュカーリのためにお膳立てされた筋書きだそうです。裏で協力関係が出来上がっています。アリーナはジュカーリにとって大宴会場だそうです。協力関係にあるだけあって、アリーナの事情にも精通しています。アリーナで手段を選ばず生き残ったことで、ジュカーリに気に入られたそうです。主人公たちが後ろ盾を倒したことで、スリスにとって変わられてしまったそうです。なんともたくましい男です。ただ役割として演じているだけだそうです。制服だけは本物です。後援者を失ったことがバレ、スリスにピットと物資を奪われたそうです。主人公の判断によっては、今ここにいるのがスリスだったかもしれません。今後も同じことを続けるそうです。物資の調達元として、自分の重要性を訴えてきます。手を出さなければ、物品を提供してくれるそうです。攻撃は後にして、とりあえず物資だけいただいておきましょう。主人公の身分については正確に把握しています。ここでも利益因子等関係なく全て受け取れます。全て受け取りました。未選択の項目があります。企みは全て聞きました。この男についてはまだ聞いていませんでした。名前は本名でした。自分のことを芸術家だと思っているそうです。男が住んでいた惑星で、防衛軍が結成されることになったそうです。志願者が足りず、徴兵された中にこの男が含まれていたそうです。所属していた部隊が見捨てられ、降参を選びピットに流れ着いたということです。軍人を演じるのは、男なりの反発心の表れでしょうか。平民にとっては、帝国もコモラフも同じくらい危険だそうです。違いは宗教の有無といったところでしょうか。 スリスは射撃の的として活用されています。スリスはボロボロですが、心は折れていません。この男よりもスリスの方が悪知恵が効くようです。部下の統率には自信が伺えます。内心では嘲笑っている男です。
Lord Captain, I serve at your pleasure. I fear, Lord Captain, that without the intervention of an experienced rejuvenate adept, I will not be able to overcome this frailty on my own. Not once, Lord Captain. I am of sound mind and memory. I am sorry to say I do not. If we had our ship and crew at our disposal, we could be safely within its walls. Perhaps the Emperor's angel might share something of what he has learned during his captivity within these... Have you spoken to Heinrichs? Since his release from captivity, he's scarcely exchanged 10... No, Lord Captain. And trust me, I hope to remain in this state of blissful ignorance until my If you are so interested in this God-Emperor forsaken place, then why not ask your new companion? It is possible the Xenos Iliad could tell you something about this place. After all, she is in some way related to its denizens.
What a relief to be talking to you again. Your soul shines like the gold of the sun in the darkness of this place. Can words ever describe the joy of being free? As for the rest, don't worry about it. I am the blood of House Orselio, its heiress, and I will overcome any ordeal to somewhere in the middle of the Dark City, I suppose. They say the human mind cannot fathom the bounds of this place, for the Imperium's largest hives look like grains of sand in comparison. There was only pitch darkness inside the Homunculus's artifact. But there is scarcely any more light in the streets of the Dark City, in whose blue-black haze I am... And yet, you did not abandon me in the darkness, even though you could have. You did not end my life, even though you gave me the strength to cast off the shackles that Felix Cunning had closed around my soul, to tear down the prison of my own fears. And I wish to repay you in kind. This is much better, isn't it? It was real, Lord Captain. I must confess, I have been hounded by eerie strangers for many years. In my dreams, visions, and warp scryings. They try to reach me. They are tormented. They shout. Unlike the others, her image manifested itself more clearly each time. The refined features of her elderly face, the long white hair, the empty eye sockets glowing scarlet, and a third eye. I began to see her ever more often, in shadows, at the edge of my vision, in my own reflection. And it was she, too, who waited for me in the darkness of the Homunculus. I had the same exact thoughts. But is that not a wild conjecture, even for a navigator? Or am I simply going in... Try not to squander that sky blue fabric of hope, Lord Captain. For...
Let us raise our cups at Fator, in honor of deeds accomplished. This is the name given on Fenris to a pack father, a commander or captain. An Et Fator answers to a Jarl. It is true that I am capable of commanding you and your people, but I have had a few thoughts on that score. But don't try to pry them out of me. Why do you think? What are you suggesting? Do you think that being a prisoner has corrupted me and sown within me a Do you know of the implant called the omophagia? It is one of the blessings the All-Father granted to his estate. I have slain many Xenos and feasted on their flesh. My captors have watched me do it. Not everyone is granted the right to ask such questions. Vilka Fenrika. That is our name in the old tongue of our world. Our fearless Wolf King is Lehman Russ, son of the All-Father. Our world is Fenris, and our home the Fang, which rises from the world's spine into orbit. We are the thunder and the... There is no peace among the stars. Who will count? But there is more to our spirit than grim destruction alone. In the whole... Though the body of an Astartes is built to be immune to the effects of drink, we invented a way around this taboo. The Mjod we brew can overcome even our... Fenris is home. A harsh land of harsh winters and harsh people. When comes the Hellwinter, a fearsome season of frosts. And then comes the season of fire. Volcanoes awaken. Waves wash over whole islands, and only the land of Asaheim. Tell me, Et Fator, what is the... An answer carried on the wings of the Raven of Wisdom. The curse of the Wolfen is the most fearsome and most terrible foe on Fenris. In the heart of every brother, there lives a dark beast, bloody and forever ravenous. Our gene seed is unique. Lehman Russ blessed us with the Canis Helix, a genetic gift that heightens our senses, making them sharp. The wolves do not take orders from outsiders. We keep the old ways, not the Codex Astartes. We fight in packs, and we are trained and healed by our wise Rune and Wolf. We believe in the great wolves, in the deadly Blackbane and fierce Drakan the Thunderwolf, in the redoubtable Hagar the Mountain Wolf, and in the Bloodied Hunter. In the wolf that stalks between stars, the All-Father is not a god. He is the best of all humans, our perfect forebear. His blood flowed through the veins of Lehman Russ, and Russ's blood flows in me. Or is he as enormous as the Sun Wolf, which rises to hunt every morning and fills our world with light? The All-Father is not a god, but the highest of humanity. Ordinary, it makes his deeds all the more glorious. Battling gods is child's play when you yourself... Lacan the Ruined Wolf once shared the mysteries of the healing potions and the secrets of magic sagas. Ulfar Redmane. Do you? And there I was, about to round off my story with a short. Should what I told you reach other ears, I shall take. What do you want to know? What brought the space wolves to the Expanse? An inquisitor by the name of Calcazar put out a call for aid. My wolf lord did not refuse him, and he saved our brother who had lost the pack and was unable to look after himself or the chapter's honor. Calcazar returned our brother to the Inquisition. Pah! Rats scurrying around the All-Father's house and ruling it in the Master's absence. An ancient strife. If you do not know of it, then you are not supposed to know. We also decided to be cautious. His words flowed like honey. That arrogant chief thought he could give us orders. But we wolves have always followed our own instincts and hunted in warm furs. The old man does shroud his body. We had gone on a raid for Xenos prisoners and fell into a trap. We had no war machines to support us, and some of our squad were wounded. So we were forced to retreat. They wounded me and captured me. They froze the joints in my armor. When they dragged me to their ship, two of my battle brothers descended upon. They fell with honor. Their saga is one I will not sing to you. You have spilled no blood with them, nor shared with them meat and mead. Yes. So am I. These are dark days you are asking about, Edfater. Let my keen-edged friend be a witness to the... I was given to Tarvantius for his amusement. In the arenas of Camorra, Astartes are a rarity. And he sent me out there to kill gladiators. Living as an inglorious... Every morning I made entreaties to the All-Father. And every night I appealed to Russ. I trained my body, read the litanies, and this was a bleak saga. Instinct bids me to remain silent. Such knowledge is not to be shared with just anyone. Fenris Hilda, et fab.
You want to know how and to what end I orchestrated all of this? Ask your questions. When Irimaris ordered us to lay waste to the monkey settlements, Tazara and I encountered resistance. I have hunted your kin too long not to notice how well you in particular were fending off our attacks. The rout in Tazara's arena, the appearance at the plot. I began sending out spies and assassins. My eyes and ears infiltrated your vessel, your cities, and they discovered a trail that led back to one of your worlds. A trail that ended with a burned monk. How the information was reaching his agents, the burned monkey himself did not even know. But based on the units involved and other details, it was clear. No monkey in real space could have gathered such specifics about raid complements and objectives. No, it was inconceivable. The information was being fed to you by my own kind, and I knew who. Irimeris Aziriesh, Archon of the Reaving Tempest, my former mistress. A cowardly... Of course. If I'm not mistaken, you met the infiltrator yourself. A Cabalite who left a lava from Tavantius in one of the Monkey. Or did you never work out the reason for the treachery during the raid on your ship so long? Overthrowing an Archon is far from easy, even one who has already tarnished her reputation. Every member of a Cabal has their supporters, and Irimeris is no exception. Nazrake promised me a sham trial in the Obsidian Court with a Nazrake was supposed to be the axe that fell on her neck. But it fell on mine instead. It was devious and worthy of praise, but what? It must be said that Nazrake did not have to try very hard to turn the court against me. Not after the stunt you pulled before the assembled Archons. Who? I have no idea what you saw in your stupor. The homunculus's creature does not elicit specific images. It muddles your mind, forcing it to paint suitable pictures evoking confusion. What do any of my kind do in real space? We were reaping. Kamara was clamoring for meat. The Dark City had suffered losses in the latest disjunction. We needed sources of sweet pain to prime its minds and bodies. Conspiring. No. There was no plot between us. She merely rushed to my bait. At first, I planned to use the one you trusted, the burned monkey with whom we had spent long hours awaiting your arrival. I planted the first poisoned seeds in her soul back at our first meeting. I dropped a hint that I knew what had become of her world. I lured her... I did not ask her to hand you over to me. No, doing that would have made my poor cousin doubt herself even more than she was already. I simply told her where to seek out the traces of her craft world and the answers to her questions. When a monkey is left alone with me and my art of pain, I plunge them into a deep well of suffering from which they will do anything to escape. Your kind have fragile souls. Your convictions and principles are a delusion that lends a mirage of meaning to your lives. I know it exists. I know that my Cabal found it, helpless and stationary, unable to protect its sons and daughters. I know that Iliad's kin began showing up as prisoners in the Reaving Tempest's spire, where they were fonts of exquisite... Why do you say that? I promised to reunite her with her kin. We've already had words. I have no reason to conceal the truth now. Iliad has outlived her usefulness to me. Mandrakes. A foul breed that lurks in the bowels of Camorra. Their ability to find paths through the shadows was put to good use. I promised them forbidden trophy. Let them come for what they're owed. They will regret it. Did you not hear me when I answered you the first time? I do not like... Then what else do you need? I was handed over to the witch cult to do with as they wished. First, they made me fight the dregs in the arena, and then the continuation of my existence. When I lost my standing, I became fair game for anyone tempted by the prospect of slaying a disgraced Cabalite. For vengeance, or just for the play. You cannot hope to understand the intricacies of Camorra and how it is structured. We are all each other's allies and worst enemies here. Towers of strength and duplicitous traitors both. The cults have always... If our conversation is finished... I had no intention of ending my days playing the role of meat in the arena. And then you blithely offered me an alliance. That is true. But I'm not merely a hireling. It is strange you did not consider that when you offered me an alliance. The Dark City is the bastion of the Drukhari, the most magnificent of all our strongholds. The Cabals, witch cults, and the Incubi inhabit the place. The Cabals are the foundation upon which rests the power of the one who rules Camorra, Asdrubal Vecht. Whether it is a mob of berserkers or an organized cartel, their essence is the same. An army of killers. What more do you need to know that you have not already beheld with your own eyes? They are the mistresses of the arenas, and they're the gladiators who feed the audience in their ravenous agony with the aloof incubi. They dedicate their lives to the art of killing, so much so that they do not plot or chase after delicious. Winged Drukhari, who have chosen to go through an agonizing process to become such a monstrosity. They escort artists of the flesh who prefer to hide away in their laboratories and create nightmares from the materials their servants supply. Engines of... On a mountain of bodies, bathing in our enemies' tears and blood. But there is one unfortunate detail. An Arabenian has stepped into your path, one of Kegarak's tribe, who lurk in the tangle of the webway. I've heard them called harlequins in your tongue. Do not keep me waiting too long.
You came back from the dark, Elentark? Unharmed. My body has already healed. The wounds of the soul will heal one day too. For suffering is a part of our life, not unlike love and fear, and yet neither rest nor our reconciliation can soothe the savage turmoil in my soul. Kruderak is lost, we are trapped, and the truth remains as hidden from me. I was meant to share your fate, Elentark, and vanish in the Dark City's rotting underbelly. But the Fleshmaster gave a different order. His twisted mind was beset by a question. Could a child of Asurion be saved from the gaze of she who... I donned the Executioner's mantle. They allowed me to keep my Spirit Stone in exchange for the suffering of others. I survived. Prayed for Asurion's mercy. Not here. The words of my truth.
参照開始からこれまでの経緯について、ユリエットが語り始めます。主人公の施設で箱舟の破片を見つけ、誤解してしまったユリエットは、そうとは知らず、マラズハイの罠の片棒を担いでしまったそうです。マラズハイを信用はしていなかったものの、わずかな希望を求めたそうです。コモラフへ続く罠だとは思いもよらなかったと、謝罪しています。なんだか引っかかる言い方です。ユリエットは主人公を信頼しているようです。二人の間に信頼関係ができたようです。コモラフでの経験が原因で、瞑想ができなくなってしまったそうです。 ユリエットも悲劇的な結末を迎えるかもしれません。どう対処したものか、ユリエットにはわかりません。瞑想はできなくても、一緒に時間を過ごす二人なのでした。
Let's see. Your lordship rogue traitor Shireen, bane of my soul and savior of my flesh. Cruel fate has driven us straight into the foulest corner of the galaxy. Home, sweet home to the Drukhari scum. I have it on good authority that... So what do you want to hear, Shireen? A children's tale about a beautiful princess? A ballad about a queen of thieves? How about a new story, Shireen? Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived on a sand-covered lump of rock, and Then his servants came and drafted the girl into the 19th Ifrit Regiment. Can you imagine? Of course, the regiment was wiped out on its first sortie, but the girl survived. But everything in this world ends sooner or later, Shireen. The now not-so-little girl went and fell in with the Kasbalika. She saved up a little gold, and So the girl ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, until her eyes and the beams of fortune brought her to the expanse. The folks on Footfall are my only family, Shireen. The trickster twins and the rest of the rabble, plain-talking and loyal as dogs. Oh, really, Shireen? And there I thought you were quite ready to believe my time. Corporal Haydari reporting for duty, sir. I've had enough of the Astra Militarum shit to last a lifetime, Shireen. And my body's collected enough souvenirs from run-ins with Xenos and heretics to last 2 lifetimes. Except, when it comes to... What? You think it's difficult? Once me and my fellow guardsmen snuck into the upper city in search of a good watering hole, where the high and mighty of that world congregated. Another time, our regiment was sent to defend the tallest spires on a high... My eyes were open to the truth, Shireen. The Imperium is full of opportunities, even for people like myself. The trick is knowing whose palms to grease, whose boots to lick, whose throats to squeeze, and whose arses to kick. You know, Shireen, I could still be bouncing around from one world to another, holed up on tired old ships with only venal grunts for company, if I hadn't decided... And that's when I caught the attention of the newly arrived commissar. I was rummaging through the pockets of Astra Militarum with one hand, and shuffling the Kasbalican cargo with the other. You can imagine what would have happened to my head had the commissar not started with my higher... It was orcs. Not everything I say is a lie. Whoop the fu... Never mind. Good as new, Shireen. No, honest. I can breathe, and I'm not coughing up blood in people's faces anymore. You did well by me again, Shireen. Thank you. I will do my best to repay you in kind. Don't give me that look, Shireen. The plotting nobles, the scheming footfall thugs, the mysteries of Xeno artifacts, the bowing and scraping before the self-indulgent ecclesiarchy. All that's gone. Everything beyond these walls melted away like a... Sorry, Shireen, but that's not going to work. All the poor wretches on Footfall know me as the sweet-spoken lady from the hot planet. But thanks for the kind words. It's good to know that my soldier's tongue hasn't scared you off. That's a negative, Shireen. Hatching clever plans has been the last thing on my mind recently, you see. But on the bright side, well, that Ashmag Homunculus, may the Aji devour that black-souled bag of... Sir, yes, sir. Your lordship, Shireen. I'll be here. I'll...
ハインリックスを探しています。入り口にいました。
It will take some time. I can heal grievous wounds and correct disfigurement, but remake my nerve endings from scratch. Such delicate and painstaking work is beyond my regrettably, little. Komorra is the city of the Drukhari, the sprawling Xenos domain built in the very plexus of the webway. This is the home of their cabals, and the launch point for their raids into real... I would tell you more, but I can't. Not because of the prohibitions of the Inquisition, but because the information is fragmentary and unverified. Based on what we have learned here, we are in the prison of one of the arenas where the Drukhari killed their prisoners as public entertainment. These Xenos feed off pain, which means I cannot offer a ready-made escape plan, but I do know that the Drukhari are constantly vying and warring with one another. Their chiefs take pains to keep their servants from complete mutual destruction. If you can find a way to exploit their personal feuds, do you actually want to hear what I have to say on the topic? Or was that just a polite turn of phrase that demands only an equally polite... I hope you do not need me to tell you that taking any Drukhari into your retinue is a stunt that falls somewhere between blasphemous heresy and incredible foolishness, let alone a Drukhari who has already succeeded. Iliad is directly responsible for us being lured into her kin's trap. They plotted against us together. That she herself ended up a captive only shows how nefarious. If I may be candid, I have certain reservations about Ulfar. There is no question that he is one of the Astartes, the divine warriors of the Emperor, and his help will be invaluable in our... The Emperor protects.
このままアリーナへ向かうと、スティフラー破壊クエストが失敗となってしまいました。スティフラーがどんな形なのかわからないまま、各地を探し回ります。下も念のため探してみます。ここを調べると周囲の様子が眺められます。なかなか壮大な景色です。スティフラーらしきものは見当たりません。オペラの前に謎のインタラクト対象があります。これがスティフラーでした。破壊するとピンクホラーが現れ、ジュカーリに襲いかかります。次の目的地はオペラです。生贄とは、ピットの住人のことです。エネルギーが解放できます。ついでにカイメラを解放しています。どのような変化があるのかはわかりません。もう一つありました。最後の一つです。紫のもやが現れます。オペラの妨害が完了しました。ピットへ向かい、生贄を捧げます。男は相変わらずです。マップを探索しますが、インタラクト対象は見当たりません。どうやら男を排除しなければ、生贄を捧げられないようです。攻撃します。男の部下も敵となります。 最初のピットでの戦闘と似たような構図です。ただしこちらは人数も装備も万端です。さして苦労はしないでしょう。入り口の方にも敵がいますが、気づかずユリエットを配置しています。倒せませんでしたが、何体かスタンさせられました。ウルファーも主人公と同じアークミリタントなので、汎用性が獲得できます。近接攻撃と射撃を交互に実施するごとに、強くなります。ただウルファーはもともと強いので、そこまでこだわらなくてもいいかもしれません。ユリエットの近くに敵がいることに気づいたので、ハインリックスを向かわせています。幸い雑魚でした。
Everyone, step aside. Your reckoning is due. For the throne's glory. But of course, you're captain. Natural.
英雄的行為が使えるので使ってしまいます。
I won't object to it. Be gone. I need a foothold. I'm done with this one. Let's see to it. Your reckoning is due. I won't do that. I'm done with this one. I won't object to it. Be gone. Give me a gun.
男の横で過激ソミを使い、機械攻撃を狙います。
Let's make it quick. Weather the storm. Weapon at the ready.
My reckoning will be swift.
敵が固まっているので、バースト射撃のチャンスです。
Swift and silent.
いいダメージを出しています。
I am not your Zeus pet, monkey. If I must. This tedium is beneath me.
男に隣接できていると勘違いしています。男の最後です。アルジェンタが使っていたラン&ガンがあります。移動と再攻撃が可能となるスキルです。
Our foes reek of cowardice.
Not a problem for me. Already done. Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Nothing I can't do.
主人公の英雄的行為で終われそうです。
Not a problem for me. Opposing me was your biggest mistake. Suits my purposes. Already done.
カシア近くの敵を見失っています。
Nothing of value has been lost.
外で訓練をしていた者たちが、ピットに戻ってきます。男がやられたのを見て、主人公の側につきます。主人公がピットの責任者に就任することとなりました。生贄が手に入りました。男が立っていた場所の左右に物資があります。 主人公の前に、無言の部下が佇んでいます。生贄として捧げる選択肢も表示されています。男の解任に文句はないようです。事実を知ると、皆ショックを受けています。ここからの脱出の望みが絶たれ、安寧を求める者がいます。安寧を与える選択肢もありますが、生贄として捧げなければならないので選びません。異端者の選択肢を選びます。皆かつての信仰を捨て去り、今や主人公の信者となっています。先ほど調べたコンテナでしょう。他にはないようです。男はまだ生きていました。反省をする時間はあるのでしょうか。男と違って、潔いスリスです。こちらに使えるつもりはないようです。仲間たちも周囲にいて、生贄を捧げる様子を眺めています。最後の一押しで、コモラフに歪みの獣がなだれ込むそうです。アリーナにもステフラーがあるそうです。破壊するための武器を受け取りました。戦力になりそうな人間は、すべて倒すか捧げるかでいなくなってしまいました。もうピットにも用はありません。アリーナへ向かいます。